A man placed an order for a 4.5 million yuan car at a Mercedes-Benz 4S dealership. For such a large order, the female salesperson Xiaoxin was thrilled. She stayed with the client day and night, accompanying him for meals and drinks. However, what happened next left the female salesperson in a situation where she was both serving the client and losing out. Female salesperson Xiaoxin is 36 years old this year, but due to her regular self-care routine, her skin is fair, smooth, and radiant. Xiaoxin claimed that she drinks women's health supplements every day, which makes her look like a young woman in her early 20s. Because of her good looks, many customers prefer to be attended to by Xiaoxin. Normally, such a large order would require an advance payment, but the man remained very calm. The female salesperson didn't want to pressure him too much since wealthy clients can be unpredictable, and one wrong move might offend them. Unexpectedly, the man asked for special services from the female salesperson. In order to close the deal quickly, Xiaoxin didn't refuse. That night, the two had an in-depth conversation, and in the following days, Xiaoxin continued to take this important client to high-end restaurants, spending more than 4,000 yuan on a single meal. Several days passed, and the client still hadn't made the payment. Xiaoxin subtly reminded him that it was time to pay the deposit. This time, the man didn't make any excuses. He told her that he had arranged for the payment to be made by his company, but since the amount was large, it would take until the next day to arrive. He then sent Xiaoxin a screenshot of the payment transfer. Although the money hadn't yet arrived in the company's account, the female salesperson felt much more at ease and slept soundly that night. However, when she woke up the next morning, the client was gone. She couldn't reach him by phone. It was at that moment that Xiaoxin realized she had been scammed and quickly reported the incident to the police. The man was later apprehended by the police. It was revealed that the man's name was Zhang Li, and he was 35 years old. He had previously worked in the second-hand car sales industry in Fujian, so he knew about the special services provided by female salespeople to attract big clients in the car industry. Recently, he had been struggling financially, with no place to stay or food to eat, so he thought of this trick. In just 3 days, Zhang took advantage of Xiaoxin's services, including meals, accommodation, and vehicle transportation, accumulating a total of 6,549 yuan in expenses. I believe this incident highlights that businesses, especially those dealing with high-value transactions, need to verify the qualifications of their clients beforehand or require a deposit. Relying solely on the client's word is risky. It is important to stay vigilant to protect one's rights and interests.
It is very normal for a female salesperson to encounter some inappropriate male customers. In fact, this is quite a common phenomenon in the industry. However, what I want to emphasize is that a person's career choice and character are not directly related. We should not easily doubt others' humanity. I remember once I managed a female salesperson who was very attractive and had a great figure. Her performance in sales was always at a champion level. Such a girl, excelling in her work, is truly hard to avoid provoking misunderstandings or negative assumptions. One time, I had a conversation with her, asking if there were any special requests or unwritten rules when dealing with clients. She calmly answered that there had indeed been requests, but those requests were absolutely impossible for her to agree to. She explained that, first of all, those requests weren't worth her consideration. She said her job was to make money, but that didn't mean she would do anything to earn money. More importantly, if she agreed to such a request, the consequences would be very serious. She mentioned that nothing is truly private. If she agreed to one customer, soon she would have countless others making similar demands. What would happen to her then? How would her colleagues, family, and friends view her? So, she always told her clients that she greatly appreciated their affection, but she was very clear about separating work from personal life. If a client truly cared for her and wanted the best for her, they should focus their energy on the business cooperation, not on personal requests. If the client could understand this, they could continue to work together and settle the order today. From that moment on, I had a very deep impression of this girl. She almost never showed excessive enthusiasm to her clients, especially when faced with inappropriate requests. She always maintained a clear mind and appropriate distance. Even when meeting clients late at night, she never lost her composure. She would rather miss some orders than challenge her principles. I truly admired her clear life principles and her dedication to her career. As women, we face more challenges and pressures in the workplace. We may be seen as relatively weak and easily swayed. If we do not respect ourselves, others naturally won't give us the respect we deserve. Therefore, we must firmly believe that only by taking the right path, proving ourselves with our strength and abilities, can we achieve true success. We do not need to resort to any improper means or compromise to achieve success. Instead, we should use our professionalism, wisdom, and effort to earn the respect and recognition of our clients.
我真心的奉劝各位千万不要去做豪华汽车销售。
I sincerely advise all the girls out there. If possible, never get involved in luxury car sales. I worked as a sales consultant at Porsche for less than half a year, and I truly experienced the immense pressure and hardship behind this job. Every morning, I had to attend a morning meeting, where apart from learning various product knowledge, I also had to familiarize myself with the sales process. Even if no customers came in, I still had to make phone calls to follow up and maintain customer relationships. What's more, the free time during work wasn't spent on resting, but rather on tasks like cleaning cars, tidying up the showroom, or even driving myself to attend business events. There was never a moment of rest. And of course, I often had to work overtime, especially when making follow-up calls in the evening, always afraid of missing any business opportunity. The pressure of sales work is truly overwhelming, especially when facing the heavy tasks and demands. There were times when I couldn't even sleep. A few days ago, I went for a medical checkup, and fortunately, the results were normal. Though some might think I'm overreacting, do you know what? I'm still in my 20s, an age when my body should be full of energy. But just look at my dark circles under my eyes, and then look at my skin. This fast-paced lifestyle and pressure have deeply affected me. Even so, this kind of work life has earned me a fair amount of money and accumulated some wealth, but the price I've paid for it is undeniably high.
做销售好累啊，累得像个狗一样。
Being a female car saleswoman is truly exhausting. It feels like working like a dog, and it's incredibly tiring, almost to the point of exhaustion. This pressure and fatigue is something outsiders can never experience. They simply cannot understand. As female car salespeople, we don't have any personal time, not even a little private space. Life is like a never-ending job, always working, everywhere and at any time. Even when you're resting, if your phone rings, you have to immediately answer the call. Sometimes on weekends, a customer calls to come look at a car, and you can only say, "Okay boss, I'll head to the 4S store right now and wait for you," and you must do it with impeccable service, no sign of dissatisfaction. There are times when you even have to worry about phone calls while you're using the restroom. You must immediately answer and respond. And let's not even talk about working overtime every day. At night, when you're trying to sleep, if a call comes in, you have to handle it right away. From the outside, it seems like being a female car salesperson is an easy job with a good income, but only those who've worked in this industry can understand the hardships and helplessness behind it. Every day, you're exhausting your energy, and the pressure keeps building up. Many times, you feel like you've reached your limit, as if you're being crushed and can't breathe. But no matter what, this is the reality of the industry, and there's no way to change it. Even when you're physically and mentally drained, you still have to maintain a mindset of starting fresh. Every day is a brand new beginning. No matter how well or poorly you did yesterday, last month, or even today, all the past achievements are left behind. Every day is a new starting point, and all the effort and sacrifices eventually come down to one goal: to keep moving forward. Keep going, no matter how tough it is. This is the only choice we, as female car salespeople, have.
最大的遗憾是那天过后
You know what? Actually, I've always had one regret in my heart, and that is that after that day I sent you a text message, but you didn't reply. I called you, but you didn't pick up. For a long time, I thought maybe you were busy or had some other reason for not responding to me right away. Recently, just a few days ago, I saw a photo on your social media of you buying a new car. I don't know why, but in that moment I suddenly thought of you and I started thinking about the time when we met. Then I began to wonder if our encounter was ultimately destined to have no result. Honestly, I would rather we had never met at all. What I mean is, you never came to find me to buy a car. That regret makes me feel a little sad.
Hello，係我朋友，大家中午好，大家飯冇？我是咖啡小香蕉啊。
Good afternoon, everyone. Have you all had lunch yet? I'm Xiao Zhang, a sales consultant at Havel Cars. Recently, many friends have been asking me, what's it like working at a 4S dealership? Is the income high? So, I'll answer those questions for you all today. No matter what industry you work in, you can't guarantee that you'll make a lot of money right when you start. And selling cars isn't as simple as you might think. It's not just about greeting customers, chatting with them, checking out some information, and selling a car in no time. It's actually nothing like what you imagine. Because the competition in the car industry is really fierce now. In our city, there are probably at least 40 to 50 car 4S dealerships. Customers have many choices. First, you have to have a deep understanding of the products, and second, you have to be very hardworking. No matter if it's windy or rainy, we have to keep wiping the cars every day. Sometimes it really feels exhausting. But there's no choice, every job is tough nowadays. As for my income, it's definitely not high. It's not like what you all think, that I can easily make over 10,000 yuan a month. That's unrealistic. It all depends on gradual accumulation. The more experience you have in sales and the better your performance, the higher your income will be. In our industry, customers are also accumulated little by little. A customer won't immediately buy a car as soon as they step into a 4S store, nor will they buy from you just because you gave them your sales contact. You have to follow up with them slowly. For example, the customers I have in my list might have been built up as far back as 2022, or even 2023. It's all about keeping in touch with them, making countless calls, sending countless WeChat messages, and only then will they be willing to come to the dealership to see cars. And even if I sell a car, I don't make much money. Many people think I can make several thousand yuan in commission from selling one car. That's not true at all. For example, my normal commission from selling a car is only a few hundred yuan. Even if the customer buys a high-end model, my commission is still not very high. So, I advise young women to study more and find a better job. Because in car sales, no matter what holiday it is, we're always working overtime. We're constantly working. If we're not making calls, we're on the road making calls. If we're not meeting customers, we're preparing to meet them. While you're all out enjoying holidays, we don't get that luxury. Once you step into the car sales industry, you can basically kiss holidays goodbye. Even if you're on a break at home, when a customer arrives, you still have to rush to the 4S store. So, our efforts and income don't always match, but if you don't put in the effort, you definitely won't make any money. So, there's no choice. I just have to keep pushing forward.
Nowadays, more and more women are joining the ranks of sales professionals in the workplace. This gives rise to an inevitable topic that must be addressed: how female salespeople can protect themselves when dealing with male clients. This is an essential piece of wisdom for every female salesperson. It should not be avoided, but rather proactively learned and mastered. We all hope to avoid unnecessary embarrassment and trouble in the workplace, but it is undeniable that the workplace is a complex environment with all kinds of people, especially for young female salespeople who are just starting their careers, as well as young women in the workplace. The following 4 points are extremely important and must be firmly remembered. First, maintain an appropriate social distance. When interacting with clients, whether in face-to-face meetings, phone calls, or WeChat communication, it is important to use proper language and avoid excessive personal conversations. Try to avoid overly intimate behavior and language. Dress appropriately as well. Avoid exposing too much skin and maintain a professional image. Second, learn to use humor to diffuse awkward situations. In communication with clients, such as during business dinners or social events, appropriate humor can help defuse potential discomfort. When encountering uncomfortable language or behavior, you can use witty remarks to defuse the situation. For example, you could jokingly tell the client, "Our business is too small. I'm just a salesperson. I only shake hands below the wrist. Anything above that is off limits." This way, You effectively communicate your boundaries while avoiding direct conflict and embarrassment. For example, when a client's behavior crosses the line, such as inappropriate placement of their hand, you can jokingly say, "No need for the boss to help me dust off. I can do it myself." Third, make your attitude clear at the first moment. At any time, if a client says or does something that makes you uncomfortable, it is crucial to make your stance clear immediately. Firmly tell the other party that such behavior or language is unacceptable without hesitation or fear. You must have a clear attitude and not leave any room for the client to test the waters. This will ensure that you are not taken advantage of. Fourth, firmly retaliate against inappropriate behavior. If the client continues to act inappropriately after you have clearly rejected them, you must retaliate without hesitation. At this point, the client and business interests are no longer important. What matters most is to protect your dignity and safety. Female salespeople and young women in the workplace, no matter the industry, must learn to protect themselves and uphold their boundaries. You must also have the wisdom to handle various complex situations and the courage to defend your rights. Do you agree with my point of view? Feel free to leave your comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your support means a lot to us, and we will continue to bring you better content. Thank you again for watching, and see you next time.